I have to give a shout out, first of all, to two people. Shout out to Justice for All for sending me the article for this story, and also shout out to Jay Lethal for doing a very thorough, detailed commentary about this story right here. And I'm actually glad that I came across this commentary first before I did mine. That way I could kind of piggyback off of what he said. Because I'm going to be honest, the way he broke that down, there would have been some things in there I would have missed. For sure. And I actually kind of talked about this in my live stream, the first live stream of the year that I did. But I didn't go into too much detail because I didn't have all of the details. But after watching Jay Lethal's video and after I get to this article, I think I pretty much will have it all together. Now, as you can see in this picture, it's a lot going on. It's a lot going on. Basically, what happened was they had a rally in, I want to say, Los Angeles the same day or around that same time period as what happened on Wednesday in D.C. And this black woman, whose name is Berlinda Nibo, was walking, and I think they said she was trying to get home, and she got caught up in the mob, as you can see right here, and they basically attacked her. And if you look at the bottom right picture, her hair, she had a wig on, got snatched off of her head. And I'm going to come back to that because that was actually detailed in Jay Lethal's video. I'm going to come back to that. But then you also see this white guy right here. He's grabbing her and everything like that. If you look to in that same picture where the white guy's grabbing her like that, you can see a hand right there with his hand on a button. And it's like, in that button, it's a can of mace or pepper spray. Like he's trying to pepper spray her in her eyes. And he probably did. And I think he did. And you could tell because if you look at the other picture, she's standing there getting her face wiped. It looks like, and her eyes are kind of red from what happened. Then, of course, you see here they're all in her face and all types of stuff, and she's being attacked and all kinds of things. Like I said, it's a lot of stuff going on. But I'm going to go ahead and read this article, and then I'm going to go and say and fill in the gaps with what Jay Lethal showed on his channel. And I also will leave a link in the description to his video about this as well, so you can see it for yourself. Pictures have captured the moment a white Trump supporter reportedly came to a black woman's aid after an angry mob of MAGA fans attacked her, ripped off her wig, and called her the N-word during a Stop the Steal rally in Los Angeles. Berlinda Nibo, age 25, had been walking past the Trump protest on her way home on Wednesday when she began to be harassed by members of the crowd outside LA City Hall, asking her if she voted for the president. Well, in my opinion, the first mistake she did is I would have waited until all of that cleared up first before leaving, or see if there was a way that I could take another way away from the crowd home. I don't know what made her walk in that direction. That maybe there's a possible interview where somebody is asking her that question and she answers it. If somebody does know the answer to that, though, can y'all please let me know, unless I find out, and then I can, if I don't incorporate it into the video, I could probably type it down in the comment section. But the crowd soon became violent, and Nebo was attacked and pepper sprayed in the face multiple times, which leads to that picture with that guy's hand pressing down on a projectile, and that was the pepper spray. The black woman, who was alone, had been left virtually defenseless until finally receiving help from an unlikely source. A nearby white man, identified online as Roy Ball, who had been attending the event, stepped in to give her a bear hug and managed to pull her to safety. That guy, I call him my hero. That guy picked me up, was whispering in my ear, telling me, keep going, you're okay, I got you, I have your phone, you're okay, I'm going to get you out of here. These people are trying to kill you. Which they were, because I saw the actual video of the confrontation. She was trying her best to fight them off, but let's be real here, she was defenseless. Like, it was one of her versus all of them. Negative online reaction to the photos of the incident, however, has led to Ball losing his job at a Toyota dealership in West Covina. The dealership has not revealed whether he will be reinstated after Nebo's assurances that he was helping her. Nebo, who lives just 2 blocks away from City Hall, said she was initially tried to dismiss the agitators and flip them off before continuing her walk home. But as she tried to walk away, a mob of at least 20 Trump supporters surrounded her and began shouting abuse in her face, and shoving her among other members of the crowd. She explained that the protesters had instigated the altercation by calling me the N-word, calling me the B-word, saying all lives matter, black lives doesn't matter. Nibo told this. Now, before I go any further, notice how they said all lives matter to her and black lives doesn't matter. They have literally thrown the, and when you watch Jay Lethal's video, he actually kind of touches on this, and this is actually something I've also talked about myself. They've literally thrown the blanket terminology or the phrase of Black Lives Matter onto every black person, as if every black person supports Black Lives Matter, which every black person does not, and has their various reasons as to why they don't. I already know. I told y'all I have my reasoning. It's not the same as theirs. But they said Black lives doesn't matter, all lives matter. If you literally loosely translate it, it can translate to white lives matter only and black people's lives don't matter at all. Like, that's what I get from what they said to her. Let's see, where did I leave off? Nibo told the news station that she was heartbroken over the attack, which left her feeling like she can no longer walk down her street anymore in peace. That's why I've always said, soft targets, don't be out there by yourself, no matter what, especially on this day. Like, you had to have known and seen what was going on. Like I said, if I was her, I would have just waited until the crowd died down to go and head home. Or see if someone could have picked me up from the other side of the building or wherever I worked and drove the other way. Those would have been my options. The incident was captured on camera by freelance photojournalist Raquel Natalikio, who shared the photos in an Instagram post that has now gone viral. Raquel said the encounter turned violent as one woman yanked off Nibo's red wig and two men began hitting her. Men holding flagpoles began beating Nibo alongside others who were punching her. Oh, by the way, if you look at the bottom right picture where her wig is just getting snatched off of her head, you can see the person who snatches off her wig is this woman right here in black. Berlinda Nibo kind of has her hand in her face like to try to push her off. But she has a black cap on. If you look at my cursor, her right here. That's the woman who snatches off her wig. And then I saw also in the clip that Jay Lethal posted that she was like swinging on one guy, and then he had tried to hit her with the flagpole. I don't know if he actually hit her, but he swung it at her. It says men holding flagpoles began beating Nibo alongside the others who were punching her. The photos also showed Ball was holding Nibo's arms down as he lifted her out of the crowd, which the photographer has said was an aggressive move. While Ball was holding Nibo, witnesses say she was pepper sprayed in the face for a third time, which you can see, of course, with this picture. At one point, a Trump supporter grabbed her from behind, restricting her ability to defend herself as she continued to get maced right in the eyes. Now, that's why many people are saying that this guy right here, they believe, wasn't trying to so-called protect her, because when he was holding her, she was defenseless and couldn't protect herself against this person who was pepper spraying her, and it almost looks like they were working together. But she says that this guy was getting her to safety, and she called him her hero. Nibo later addressed the incident in interviews with news outlets and police and clarified that the man was helping. If it was not for him stepping in at that moment, these people would have literally tried to kill me. Raquel later posted an update to the Instagram post saying witnesses have stated and have photo and video footage of the woman being maced in the eyes while being held by Ball. In a later interview with BuzzFeed, Nibo said Ball carrying her with her hands at her side did not help. She said it would have helped me more if he would have made way for me to move out of there completely. Photographer Raquel Nataliko blasted the police for not intervening to help Nibo when she was attacked by the MAGA supporters. The police line was right behind me in this photo. Not one officer stepped in. It took two bystanders and myself dragging her out and running over to the police line for safety. So basically, they were acting in the same manner as they were in D.C. when they stormed the Capitol. They were just there. Because they, in my eyes, were in on it too. As the images began circulating on social media, Nibo supporters shared Twitter posts identifying Ball and his employer in hopes of bringing attention to his apparent violent behavior. One tweet was even shared by actress Jane Lynch, who identified Ball as an employee at a Toyota dealership in West Covina. The company then released a statement in response denouncing his alleged behavior and announcing it was cutting ties with Ball. The actions in these photos are inconsistent with Toyota's guiding principle of respect for people. We do not condone this conduct. While Toyota dealerships are independently owned and operated entities, we can confirm that this person is no longer employed by any Toyota dealership, they said in a tweet. Now, see, here's where he got affected by this. Let's just hypothetically say that he was helping her or getting her to safety. The photos of him holding her like that while she's being pepper sprayed does not help his cause. And two, he was out there with that crowd. And look at how they were engaging when it came to her. And now, like I said, the picture does not put him in a good light. Even though she said that this guy was getting her to safety or trying to protect her. That's not how many will see it. Like, many people are going to put their own lens on, their own pair of glasses on, and see it through a different lens than she did. Nibo later cleared the air explaining Ball had actually saved her life. Nibo told NBC4 that she had spoken to law enforcement and called Ball's employer Thursday to inform them that he had helped her during the ordeal, but did not say what their response was. DailyMail.com has contacted Toyota for comment. Earlier, the LAPD announced it was investigating the disturbing images taken at the protest and confirmed a designated area was established within the protest location for individuals to report crimes and or seek medical attention. Police later released an updated statement Thursday confirming Ball was not the one of the aggressors after receiving statements from Nibo. The individual seen in the images with his arm wrapped around her per the victim's statement was determined to be a good Samaritan that helped her get away from the hostile crowd by carrying her to safety, cops said. Nibo did not suffer any major injuries in the attack, but sustained a scratch to her face and had been pepper sprayed. Natalikio says she chose to publicize the photos of the attack to show the violence and hatred black people face in America. Black people experience things like this on a daily basis and are seldom believed when they speak about it. She told the news station, "It's real sad." She said, "We got to do better. We got to do better." The LAPD said it is now investigating the incident as a hate crime and encouraged witnesses to come forward to help them track down the assailants. So, well, it shouldn't be that hard because a lot of their faces were pretty much exposed out there in the open. But they'll drag it. Several people were arrested during the rally after clashes between Trump supporters, counter-protesters, and police. Some images posted to social media show people with blood on their faces, but no serious injuries were reported. Officials were eventually forced to declare an unlawful assembly after the crowd of about 200 people gathered outside City Hall and the LA Police Department headquarters. It came as protesters elsewhere across the country took to the streets as President-elect Joe Biden was set to be certified as the winner of the November election. Now, I just got through the article. Now, I wanted to really highlight something that Jay Lethal pointed out in his video, and he actually pointed it out pretty early on. When I saw the beginning of his video, you had this palm-colored woman waving around a Trump flag and holding this woman's wig. Like, she was holding it out like in the open. Now, mind you, the one that was holding the wig out in the open was not the one who snatched the wig off of her head. She was just waving it around and everything like that, just mocking the actual imagery of it all and whatnot. Then all of a sudden, the woman who actually snatched off her wig, the one who was wearing all black and everything like that, said, "I committed the first scalping of 2021. And then they began to cheer her on and yell freedom and all kinds of stuff. Think about what she said. Now, this is the palm color woman saying this. She said, "I committed the first scalping of 2021. Think of the actual imagery of a scalping. That's literally cutting off your hair all the way down to the scalp. And you will most likely die from that. You most likely would die from that actually happening. And that was a practice. That was something that their ancestors were known to do. It was also a practice that the natives were known to do to their ancestors as a payback for what they did to them, the ones who survived anyway. And she was proud of it. the woman who said that, who said I committed the first scalping in 2021, she was so proud to say that. Like, she was happy that she did it. And she said the first one in 2021, which means she's going to go for more later on if she gets the opportunity. It was some other stuff that was going on in that video that Jay Lethal posted, but I don't want to like completely ride his coattails. I just wanted to point that part out in particular. But you'll have to go and watch his video, which I said I'll leave the link in the description so you can watch it for yourself. But yeah, this is definitely some madness, and expect more of this. Hopefully not to this scale, but I can't predict the future. All I'm gonna say is this: to the black people out there, mind your business. This is between them. And should you get caught up in the mix, maybe not on purpose, protect yourself. Arm yourself if need be. Now, I'm willing to bet if she armed herself and she started popping off on him, I bet you those pigs would have moved then. They didn't move when she was in danger, but I bet you they would have moved if she would have protected herself. I can almost guarantee it. But y'all let me know what y'all think about the story down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. If you haven't done so already, make sure you text the number that is pinned down in the comment section below so you receive notifications every time I upload a new video. And I will talk to you in the next one.